So good morning students. In the previous video we had seen about the dispersion. So what is meant by dispersion, how dispersion occurs. Under that we had seen your material dispersion. Now we will go for your waveguide dispersion. So what is the difference between your material dispersion and waveguide dispersion is your material dispersion is going to depend on the dispersion in the dispersion in your optical fiber is going to depend on what type of material you are going to use to propagate the waveform. Your waveguide dispersion is nothing but here it is going to tell based on what type of waveguide you are going to use, the optical light is going to depend on, that is the dispersion is going to depend on the waveguide what you are going to choose. So here as I said, when I am going to use your waveguide for transmission of your light or for propagation of your light, the light is going to be propagated at different modes and the group velocity of these modes are going to depend on the wavelength there. So when the light is going to travel along the wavelength along the fiber, there is going to be dependent on the electric field intensity that is going to be present across the fiber there, that is the field distribution inside the fiber. So we can say that your field distribution is nothing but it is the ratio between the core radius and the wavelength. The field distribution inside the fiber is going to depend on the ratio of between the core radius and the wavelength there. So core radius is A and the wavelength is going to be lambda. So suppose if I am going to vary this ratio, that is by changing the wavelength, operating wavelength here, the lambda naught, then in that case the portion that is going to be present, the optical power that is going to be present in the core and the cladding surface are also going to be modified. So here in this case the phase velocities in the core and the cladding are all going to be different. So when the phase velocities in the core and the cladding are going to be different, the phase velocities are also going to be altered there. There is the group velocities are also going to be altered. So mainly the waveguide dispersion, it will be in waveguide dispersion you can observe in the single mode fibers where the modal dispersion is not going to be exhibited. So here in this case your material dispersion is going to be smaller, for lambda naught is going to be 1.3 in your silica glass. So here we can say that your waveguide dispersion is going to be significant in fibers where the number of modes that is going to be travel inside the fiber is going to be 5 to less than 5 to 10 modes. So mainly a waveguide dispersion is visible in your single mode fibers. If you are going for multi-mode fibers, the number of modes should be less than 5 to 10 inside the fiber there. In that case only a waveguide dispersion is explicit there. So waveguide dispersion we can give it as tau Wg is equal to L by C into N2 plus N2 del into dKb by dk, where B is the normalized propagation constant, that is your beta value, and K is going to be the group velocity, that is 2 pi by lambda. So the normalized frequency we can write, we know that it is Ka into N1 square minus N2 square the whole power half. So this N1 square minus N2 square the whole power half is nothing but the relative refractive index, that is going to be given as K into A into N2 square root of 2 del, where del is nothing but the relative refractive index difference there. So we can write tau Wg is equal to L by C into N2 plus N2 del d into this, instead of Kb we can write it as your V into V. So here K is nothing but group velocity, we can write it in terms of a normalized frequency, that is d into Vb by dV. So d into Vb by dV is nothing but the waveguide dispersion, and it is going to be mode dependent. Depending on what mode we are going to transmit or we are going to propagate, it is going to be mode dependent term there. So here next is we are going to see the chromatic dispersion. So in the chromatic dispersion, as I said, it is going to be the frequency, we know that it is going to be related to your wavelength, and the group velocity of the energy which is going to propagate inside the fiber is going to vary with respect to frequency. So when it is going to vary with respect to frequency, it is going to provide additional losses with your waveguide dispersion there. Additional losses in your waveguide dispersion. So here we know that the propagation constant is going to vary with respect to the wavelength, and it is going to be independent of your material dispersion. So here the chromatic dispersion is nothing but the combination of a material dispersion and the waveguide dispersion. So here the losses, how the losses can be avoided is by increasing the spectral width of the transmitter and the choice of correct wavelength we can avoid the loss of your chromatic dispersion there. So now we will see the graph of effective refractive index against wavelength here. So here in this case you are going to have a graph. This is your material dispersion and this is going to be your wavelength, the waveguide dispersion. You can see that the material dispersion and the waveguide dispersion effects vary in opposite senses as the wavelength is going to increase. So here in this case at optimum wavelength 1300 nanometers, we can see that the two dispersions cancel out each other and we are going to have the minimum effect there. So here the chromatic dispersion is going to be minimum at 1300 nanometers there, and this is your chromatic dispersion. So the chromatic dispersion with respect to the wavelength. So your attenuation is going to be minimum and it is going to make 1300 nanometers as a highly attractive operating wavelength there. Thank you.